Are we live? Welcome to another fabulous rendition of Too Early for This podcast. It's your host and moderator, the host with the most. I do not break a boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Krista Don One. It's official. How y'all living? I'm living swell. Feel free, be sure to hit the subscription button, the notification bell. Make sure the notification bell is select to all, by the way, as well as sharing this lovely content with your friends, family, as well as your followers. If you want to support the channel even further, hit the join membership button. Remember, membership has its privileges, as well as you can cash at me, $ I'm Krista Don One. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it in. A couple of things, some little nips and bits of news, as well as some info. If you follow me on my audio version of I'm Krista Don One podcast, it's on iTunes, Spotify, as well as anywhere else where you get your podcast indulgement from. I'm going to do some renovation on I'm Krista Don One podcast. I'm just going to change it to Too Early for This podcast. That way it's branded alongside this live stream. And I'm going to try really get it cracking, doing more audio podcast format deals of stuff that goes on in the news. I'm going to try to keep it biblical as far as daily episodes instead of just episodes once every Saturday. Anyone that is subscribed to me on the audio version of I'm Krista Don One podcast, you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna make it an entertainment podcast, so be on the lookout for that. The links are the links are in the description below. Subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed. And let's get it cracking and talk about the news and notes this week. This week was pretty much a fairly modest week, by the way. First and foremost, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. We talked about Cardi B and Tasha K. Well, I think there's a conclusion to the Cardi B versus Tasha K. Now, I've been living on the rock, allow your boy to explain. Tasha K was saying some outrageous, outlandish-ish that turned out to be false about Cardi B. Cardi B took her to court. Cardi B won a judgment, by the way. I think it was like $4.5 million. And ever since she won that judgment, Tasha K has been on I ain't got it mode, switching her money from bank to bank, thinking about going to Africa, just moving to Africa, just and made up, pretty much on social media, made a mockery of it, hired the same lawyer firm that represented her in the legal case versus Cardi B. They tried to get a conjunction. They tried to argue to the court, and all of that stuff fell through. And now Tasha K exhausted all of her resources, and she's going to have to give up this $4.5 million. Like I said, she probably going to have to pay it all at once, probably have some installments, whatever. Tasha K decided that she's going to file bankruptcy. Okay. And we all knew that this end was coming. I'm pretty sure Tasha K and her legal team knew that this end was coming. Tasha K knew this end was coming, as well as Cardi B's legal team knew it was coming. That's what I really wanted to say. Cardi B and her legal team knew that this was the only course of action that Tasha the K can only gravitate to, because of one or two things. Either she doesn't have the money, okay, or she feels like she doesn't deserve to give Cardi B her winnings. Okay. Now, Cardi B is a multi-millionaire. $4.5 million is really nothing to her in the grand scheme of things. And I really don't think it's the financial obligation Tasha K has to give to Cardi B. and Cardi B is like needing this money. I just think this is a win subconsciously, because Cardi B, because Tasha K has profited off of these lies she said about Cardi B, and later was proven correct in court that they were nothing but lies, bald-faced lies, and she knew lying to her audience would get her instant gratification as far as popularity on social media, as far as brokeraging deals, as income and things of that nature. She's all advertising a lot of products on her live stream, and just stacking it up on a social media point. She was trying to gravitate a lot of her subscribers. She's got like 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube, and she was trying to basically get them to all go to the Tasha K app, where she can seize control of everything, of comments, of subscribers, of how she's going to get money. We talked about it a couple of live streams ago that, well, really, we started talking about it even longer before that. That it would not surprise me none if Cardi B go after Tasha K's YouTube check, all right? Because of one or two things. One, we know for a fact that Tasha K, out of all the other resources, how she gets revenue, that's probably the best way for them to get their return, as far as Tasha K owing Cardi B a huge judgment. They knew Google AdSense was giving her a check, so she's already got her hands into that. And I think Tasha K thought that this was not going to happen, that Cardi B can tap in and garnish her checks from YouTube. She felt like this was not going to happen. And now that it did happen, and she's probably taking a huge cut from Tasha K's AdSense YouTube check, and that's where all her donations go to. That's where all her super chats go through. That's where people want to join her membership, hit the membership button, which, by the way, hit the membership button to this lovely channel, by the way. But nevertheless, all of that resources, as far as generating income, goes to her Google AdSense, as well as the ads that break in between her live streams. Everyone knew that this was probably the best course of action for Cardi B to take, and her legal team did that. They was talking about for seizing and taking her house, her cars, and all that stuff. And that probably could have happened. I give it like an 85% chance of it happening. But the resources and the money it takes for you to do that would have probably not been the best way for Cardi B's legal team to get their money from Tasha K. And now Tasha K is going to file bankruptcy because either one or two reasons. She doesn't even have the money, or she has the money, but she doesn't feel obligated that she should give her the money. Like I said, slandering somebody's name, throwing somebody's reputation under the bus or through the mud is illegal. And you can take people to court that say bad things about you that are proven to be untrue. And Cardi B, and we talked about this months ago. Well, last year, I believe, when the trial was going on, I was telling you guys that a lot of these accusations Tasha K put out in the atmosphere on social media. And I know a lot of people say this all the time. They say, well, it doesn't matter what someone says about you. It ain't true. It's not going to hurt you. It might, leave a few mental scars. But other than that, whatever someone says on social media, it's not going to hurt your reputation. It's not going to hurt your longevity. It's not going to hurt your finances. And that is proven to be false. Tasha K, when she was in court, and when Cardi B, when she was in court, they documented how all of this, these lies and slander and throwing her reputation on the bus cost her millions. talked about the Call of Duty deal. Cardi B was supposed to be having an exclusive contract with Call of Duty to advertise their game. And then I believe Activision thought that these lies that Tasha K was spewing and putting on social media. And then you have all these leeches, you have all of these blogs and podcasts co-signing to what Tasha K was saying because it was getting them clicks and views, just like it Tasha K was getting clicks and views and making money off of these lies. Everyone else was getting their clicks and views and getting their money, getting to the bag by spewing and spreading these lies. Okay, so basically, Cardi B is taking already took Tasha K to court, got a conjunction where they can start, garnishing her checks, and now Tasha K, the only course of action, the only move she can make is bankruptcy. Now, I don't know how much of this $4 million Tasha K is going to be, that Tasha K is going to erase, or how much of it that she's going to have to pay, or how much she has been paying. But when she goes through bankruptcy, hey, I hope it's legal all the way. She's telling the truth, because bankruptcy court does not play. They do not play. And if you use their system to not pay a fee when you have the money, you just simply just don't want to pay the judgment, bankruptcy court is no joke. They will cancel the proceedings if they find any shred of you lying about how much you make and things of that nature. How much are your assets? Of course, they're going to sell off a lot of your assets. If you got anything of value, of course, the bankruptcy court is going to tell you to either sell it or flip it so you can pay something out of this judgment. I don't think Tasha K's gonna come out of there squeaky clean where she owes Cardi B nothing, and it already ruined Tasha K. Even though she got the clout, everyone always liked to chase this clout. But today people rather be famous for nothing instead of just making money for doing something. Okay, because it's a lot easier to work at chasing clout than it is to build a brand, have a trusted brand, and make your bag off of your brand. That's a longer road to success than it is just to chase clout. And Tasha K got the clout. She is famous in social media, maybe not famous for all the right reasons, but she's famous. She got that. She always wanted that. Even Lovely T, when they were talking about this, that's why Lovely T don't F with her. Not a lot of people don't really F with Tasha K, but she got her clout, she got her popularity on social media, but it's costing her in mega ways, like this huge judgment hanging upon her. And I don't say that Tasha K nor her husband, and it, by the way, shout out to Tasha K's husband, very respected on social media and in the media world. Everyone likes his attitude, his demeanor, and things of that nature. No one has a problem with Tasha K's husband. It's just a lot of people have a lot of problems with Tasha K. And I don't know how much of this judgment that she's going to have to be forced to pay, but I just don't think she's going to come out of there squeaky clean, not making any thing, not owing anything from Cardi B. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Even if she gets the injunction for bankruptcy, that's another process and another live stream and another story for another day. So I just want to throw that out there to let you guys know that, Tasha K is filing for bankruptcy. And she's not going to save face on social media. She's pretty much a laughing stock on social media. She's not trusted Now I know she's been doing a couple of live streams, and she also did a couple of updates on her YouTube channel, letting her audience know that a lot of her content, and at first it was, she was pulling certain segments that she used to do on YouTube and placing it on her Tasha K app. And she's pulling a lot of content that she normally produce for YouTube onto her app, and she's been making public service announcements, letting people know that if you want the fuckery Friday or all these other live streams that she normally do, these interviews she normally do, and bless her subscribers on YouTube, if you want access to this stuff, you will have to sign up on her Tasha K app. She's moving a lot of her stuff to her Tasha K app, and I feel like that's the ultimate goal. Hopefully she can get all million subscribers that are subscribed to her on YouTube to go to our Tasha K app. And I remember talking to you guys that that course of action, it doesn't happen. Your YouTube audience is going to stay on YouTube, and when you stop making content and stop, and when you no longer please them, and they can't get their entertainment or their gospel or however y'all want to spew that, they'll just move on to someone else that can provide that same type of content for them. And there's a lot of content creators on YouTube that that does that type of content. So a lot of, I think in the grand scheme of things, she's going to get a small portion of subscribers, the wino gang, like she likes to call them. She's going to get a small portion of those that would follow her anywhere. Those are her hardcore fans. But people that just came for the mess, that came for her talking ish to whoever she's talking about on her live streams, and enjoy that and like that type of drama in their lives, they're just going to find someone else that's going to give them the appetite of destruction to fill their bellies of drama and mess. They're just going to go to another content provider on YouTube, and they probably already subscribe to that person, and they'll just go on and move on. And Tasha K, she's never going to make the money she could have made by just simply staying on YouTube, getting her bag on YouTube, getting her subscribers to support her on YouTube, and being blessed of being popular because of her brand, her image, as well as the entertainment that she is providing. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say on the Tasha K front. I gave you guys a Tasha K update. Just hit me up in the comment section. Tell me what you think Tasha K should do. If are you a Tasha K fan, or you're a Cardi B fan, comment in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think of that segment. Which real quick on the Cardi B segment. She's been talking about touring this summer. There's also talk about her with some new music for Cardi B fans. So that's pretty much all I can say on the Cardi B front. It's been kind of light on the Cardi B front. A lot of people are wondering what's Cardi B's next move. Her husband Offset came out with a solo album, didn't do the numbers like it normally did when he was a member of the Amigos. Those guys broke up and they went their separate ways, even though the two they were all supposed to be related to one another. The Takeoff and I forgot the other guy's name. I do apologize. They was doing somewhat of a duo album. One of them passed away at a shooting, and the other two founding members of the Amigos are beefing right now. They got into an argument or a dispute or a fight at an award show, and it's just bad. I'm not going to spew what everyone is talking about Offset messing around with one of his cousins girlfriends. I'm not going to go into all that stuff, but um, it's causing huge friction between the two. Now comes word that, they're not even related. Okay. It was just a publicity stunt for people to think that they were related. And, it was all about, once again, the almighty clout and spinning their music, making people think that this is a family group, and people f with it, not because it was good. Not only it was good music, but they were all three somehow related. Now comes word that none of these guys, Offset was not even really related to them. So that kind of explains why there was friction between the two. There was, no trust between any of the members. Now, I do feel like, and I always say this about people and about this particular subject, that, right now, there's no effort into putting the group back together again. But I feel like when, time heals all wounds. And when time passes and they're either one of them is not making or not selling the albums they were, or streaming the albums that they once were streaming when they were on top of the world. When that falls off, and that's when the love starts to, the love of, as far as their relationship with each other, making music, they start missing the time when they used to sit in the studio and just simply just make music, and they start reminiscing and things of that nature. Eventually, cooler heads are going to prevail, and the two members are going to form Voltron and try to bring back the Amigos. Okay. So right now, I don't see it. I don't think anybody sees it. But I do feel like when time passes, and like I said, time heals all wounds. And when either one of them is not making the money that they used to make when they were a group, um, they're going to gravitate to one another. They're going to start reminiscing, and they're going to, bury the hatchets, sort of say, and reform the Amigos. And I'm pretty sure they got music with all three of them in a vault somewhere that has not been released yet. And, you're going to start seeing all that stuff. This happens to all groups in all types of categories throughout the history of music. Okay. The Beatles, even though there's some people out there don't know who the hell are the Beatles. I'm pretty sure everybody should know the Beatles. But when the Beatles were a four group, when it was a group, when it was four of them, they made phenomenal music. And then John Lennon's girlfriend sort of got involved with the group, and then the group disbanded, and everyone did their separate thing. Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and I forgot the other member, but anyway. And R.I.P. to John Lennon, who was assassinated. I believe it was in Paris. Yoko Ono was his girlfriend. Even she made music. It wasn't good music. And there were talks of them, bringing the old band back, until that misfortune happened. And now all we got is the Beatles catalog, which is a very extremely popular catalog, by the way. Just imagine you own the Beatles catalog. All right. You'll be collecting checks for as long as you live. Your children will be collecting those checks. Your grandchildren will be collecting. The Beatles, I think they when they was formed, back in the 50s and 60s, and they're still making music. The Beatles are still making music, folks. Prince is making music. God bless the dead, and R.I.P. to Michael Jackson. These guys who made music back in the day are still collecting checks. Their family members are still collecting checks, royalty money from Prince and Michael Jackson and the Beatles. Okay. Paul McCartney's still alive. there was a I forgot the guy's name. I think two of the members are no longer here. John Lennon died very young, and I forgot the other guy's name. He had a simple name. He was the least famous of the Beatles. And did I say it was a foursome group? I think it was a threesome group. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just trying to prove a point that you know the Beatles wanted to come back after, years of beefing with one another. So this too can happen with the Amigos. So hit me up in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about that. Yes, it's going to be a long stream because I promised you guys last week we was going to have a long stream, and I'm going to deliver. We're going to get back to the long stream. You hear me? All right. So uh, we got that out of the way. We're going to anything else? Kanye West and Adidas, the stockholders of Adidas is freezing Kanye West as his money, and Adidas is struggling. Okay, they for those who don't know, Adidas sort of dropped Kanye West with his racial tweets and his racial perspective against the Jewish community, and it cost not only Kanye West, but it cost Adidas a lot of money. Okay, it cost Kanye West the opportunity to make more money. He was, labeled as a billionaire. I don't think he's a billionaire now because he had lost a lot of ways to generate money through his comments about the Jewish community and things of that nature. But Kanye West is Kanye West. He's going to he's not going to be so broke where he's going to be working at your friendly neighborhood McDonald's store or Walmart. Okay. Still going to make money. All right. Which, by the way, Kim Kardashian says she cries herself to sleep because she doesn't want to be a single mother. I guess she's missing that old thing back with Kanye West. I told you guys those two were made for each other because both of them are cray-cray. Okay. They just don't think logically like normal human beings. These two guys are Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. They're aliens. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about from outer space. All right. So that was talked about last week as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all the news and notes, the nuts and crannies of what things done happened over last week. And now we're going to get to the main course. Okay, I gave y'all a bunch of appetizers. We're going to get to the main course, what y'all came here for. All right, we're going to get into that. Before we get into that, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this content with your friends, family, and followers. Let's get this YouTube channel, this live stream in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me. I also talked to you guys briefly about me doing audio podcast formats. I'm going to rebrand the I'm Chris the Don One podcast, and I'm going to change it to Too Early for This podcast. That way you can just listen to the mess or what's going on in entertainment weekly. I might upload something today that's going to premiere Monday morning about Rick Ross and DJ Envy, why they're beefing with one another. And I wanted to talk about it on this live stream, but I don't want to, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we're definitely going to talk about the main course, the main dish. Okay. And that is Kwame Brown versus Shannon Sharpe, or should I say Shannon Sharpe versus Kwame Brown? Okay, it really doesn't matter. They're beefing right now because of what Kwame Brown said about LeBron James when he got swept by the Denver Nuggets. And in that series, I think a lot of people, when you look at the series and it took 4 games, and you look at how the Los Angeles Lakers lost those games. 2 of those games, they lost. They lost the game by bonehead plays and bonehead decisions by mainly LeBron James, just jacking off threes, and he was not hot by any stretch of the imagination. And when you look at the totality of all four of these games, the Los Angeles Lakers were in these games. They just need a better, either a better performance to make up the mistakes they were making in each of these games with LeBron James jacking up shot. And it wasn't just only LeBron James screwing up in those series. D'Angelo Russell, he was effing up. Anthony Davis, he was in struggle mode. He was like up and down with his performance. And at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets were the better team. They had the better players, they had the better system, they had the better coach, and they had the better chemistry because that team was with each other from preseason. All right. And normally when you have a team that, you know, are tight and good, have better chemistry, has better talent, and they didn't have to trade to get better. All right. Normally those teams advance and make it to the NBA finals. All right. But even though it was a gentleman's sweep, the Los Angeles Lakers were in a lot of those games, and it could have easily flipped into 2-2, or the Los Angeles Lakers being at least 3 games above a three. They could have won this series, but due to their lack of talent, their lack of trust with one another, chemistry issues, up and down performances to not only Anthony Davis but even LeBron James, and you also had other elements that plagued that team. I thought the better coach was Mike Malone versus Darvin Ham. I'm not throwing no shade at Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham did what he could do with that roster during the whole entire season because they at one point he was trying to figure out what he was going to do with Russell Westbrook. Found a decent role with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. That sort of helped the Lakers win some games. And did his best to band-aid a gunshot wound of the Los Angeles Lakers. They just did not have any talent. Okay, they didn't have legit NBA players. Okay, they just had some journeyman players that would have just filled the bench and just playing ever so often. And they were heavily depending on these players, these journeymen, these ragamuffins, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. The guys that the Los Angeles Lakers had representing as a team when he had Russell Westbrook was not as talented as a team that they ultimately end up with after the trade deadline. Okay, I think if they would have made it to the NBA Finals, y'all should give a lot of credence and a lot of credit to not only the ownership, but not only the ownership, but the general manager. And I'm trying to think of his name. He used to be Kobe Bryant's agent. His name escapes me, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. They should get the bulk of the credit if the Los Angeles Lakers would have made it to the NBA Finals. Had less to do with the talent, what they had on the squad. They had to piece together this talent after getting out from under the Russell Westbrook contract, finding someone to get Russell Westbrook, as well as adding talent, legit NBA talent to that roster. Okay. Also drafting well. Okay. They drafted some players that they heavily depended on last season as well as this season. So yeah, the Los Angeles Lakers, even though it was a failed attempt and they swept, they should at least be proud because they was not really pegged to be in this position if they would have kept the roster that they had before the start of the regular season. So, but I think a lot of that credence should go to ownership as well as the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. His name escapes me, but that's fine. And then some of the credit should go to the coaching. Darvin Ham did did a good job with what he had in front of him, and what he ultimately ended up getting after the trade deadline. So he did a great job. And then, yes, Anthony Davis, by him not being injured as much, should get some credit, even though he was inconsistent. He was up and down with his performance, with his play. But Anthony Davis didn't jeopardize the Los Angeles Lakers' chances by just being injured for half the season. So you got to give Anthony Davis some credit. And you also got to give LeBron James some credit as well. Sure, LeBron James can't carry a team like he used to when he was in his prime. But there was a lot of games where LeBron James performed on the highest level. All right. So we got all that stuff out of the way. The Denver Nuggets did sweep the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Los Angeles Lakers fans, the LeBron James fans, they are already on their excuse tour. Everyone's making excuses why the Los Angeles Lakers got swept by the Denver Nuggets, but none of those fans in those communities are now pointing to the fact that the Nuggets did beat them because they were the better team. There was the most complete team. They had the better talent, and they've been together since the start of preseason. No one's not talking about that. Everyone's talking about shoulda, coulda, and woulda, and everyone's making excuses and deflecting and things of that nature. But that's par for the course. Every fandom group is going to make excuses for why their team or why their favorite player got swept or lost the series or lost the championship. Okay. So which, by the way, if I was a Los Angeles Lakers fan and if I was a LeBron James fan, a lot of people have selective amnesia because before the start of the regular season and everybody was making their predictions, everyone predicted, including me, and it wasn't like we were wrong. We all predicted that the Los Angeles Lakers were going to have a losing season. They were going to be hovering over the 500 mark. And the only caveat that we were pointing to was the possibility of LeBron James breaking the scoring record by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was going to be the Los Angeles Lakers title, what they can hang their hat on. That's what we all thought that was going to ultimately end up with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, if you look at that front office, they made some amazing signings during the NBA free agent signing. Okay, they also added more players with several trades. They got out from under the Russell Westbrook contract that they were begging in desperation to get out of. First and foremost, the front office didn't even want Russell Westbrook, but they wanted to please LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They felt like having Russell Westbrook on the roster, trying to build a super team. They had high hopes on the super team. And, when they started this super team thing, it was a little bit easier to do it when it was LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, because if you look at the rules that were put in place, they would still have a decent roster and just sign a bunch of players on 1-year contracts. How you can just keep those three together. Now the NBA competition committee made it virtually impossible for that to happen. So like if you have 3 max players, it really jeopardized and hurt the rest of your salary cap to fill the rest of the roster. All right. So if you're going to have 3 superstars with max money, best believe you're going to heavily depend on those max players. All right. And like I said, Anthony Davis was up and down with his conditioning and him being injured all the time. LeBron James was in and out of the lineup on a smaller portion with his injuries, but he was getting older and he couldn't do the things he once could do when he was in his prime. LeBron James was a fantastic two-way player, okay? But LeBron James would rest, on defense so he can be ready for offense. And a lot of teams exploited that. Okay, and that's pretty much what the Denver Nuggets did with LeBron James. But I don't think that was the reason why they lost that series. We just talked about it momentarily. But a lot of people are blame deflecting and things of that nature. And a lot of people on social media put their 2 cents in and share their opinions about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. And one of them was Kwame Brown. Now, if you don't know who Kwame Brown is, allow your boy to explain. Kwame Brown used to play in the NBA. A lot of people believe that he was a bust in the NBA. And Kwame Brown turned that title being a bust after his playing days, have a very successful Facebook channel and have a very successful YouTube channel. You put in Kwame Brown uh, got content galore on YouTube. He is the highest he's up there as content creators on YouTube. Kwame Brown, when he does a live stream, you know, he has a lot of people on his live stream. So he did a live stream. I don't know if it was on his YouTube channel, on his Instagram page, or on his Facebook page, but anyway, whatever. Kwame Brown talked about the Los Angeles Lakers and basically talked about how disappointed he was in the Los Angeles Lakers, and talked about LeBron James, and basically implied that they call LeBron James a superstar, but he lost in a sweep. Which, by the way, LeBron James has in every decade. I think the stat was in every decade. So I'm assuming it's the 90s, after the 90s and the 2010. He's been swept in 3 different decades. He's the first player to get that nod. Now, a lot of people are also saying, well, Larry Bird was swept, and Michael Jordan was swept, and yada yada yada. Well, mainly Michael Jordan, but a lot of people don't put context in when like I put context in LeBron James struggles in his career, and I also put context in Michael Jordan. Okay, a lot of those sweeps happened earlier in Jordan's career. It really doesn't matter if you got swept early in your career or later in your career. You did get swept. Okay, so let's put some context in that. But however, when Michael Jordan got swept, a lot of people seem to forget that those were 5-game series, not 7-game series. All right, where if you're 2-0, it's a wrap in the series. It's a wrap. It's a rizap. Okay, and that's why when you look at these historic records, like no team down 3-0 has never came back to a series, a large chunk of that stat is the early days in the NBA when it was a 5-game series, not a 7-game series. That's why the number is so, I think it's like 140 or something like that. It's to 0. Nobody has came back from a 3-0 hole. Well, you know why? In the early days in the NBA, it was a 5-game series. Once you lose 2 games, it's a rizap. Okay, you're not coming back from a 5-game series. You're already down 2-0. Okay, so let's just put a lot of context. Okay, when we start, first and foremost, you shouldn't be comparing players in different generations because of how they play basketball, and how basketball was evolving, and things of that nature. A lot of stuff that Michael Jordan had to endure, LeBron James isn't enduring those things. All right, and vice versa. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Okay, so we need to put context in anything, but in everything. And you shouldn't be comparing these 2 players because they played in 2 different generations. They had 2 different styles. They're really not similar. Okay. Michael Jordan was more of a scorer at the end of the day, even though he was great in other things such as defense and things of that nature. But if you apply one word to Michael Jordan, not only he won a lot, he was a greater scorer. All right. And when you look at LeBron James, he's not, a lot of people, the bulk of LeBron James' career, we kept saying that he was more of a facilitator. All right. He got the others hot. Okay. So these two guys, and they play two different positions. I mean, there's no way you can really compare these two. But a lot of people want to make these LeBron James, Michael Jordan arguments, the GOAT topic. And I'm just going to be honest with you. You have a better chance of debating. And I don't understand why people don't do this, why they don't debate who was the better quarterback in the NFL, Joe Montana or Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, even though he's been in more Super Bowls, he has won more than he lost in Super Bowls. All right. And if you look at Joe Montana, he has just won Super Bowls. He has never lost a Super Bowl. He may have lost playoffs. He may have lost conference, Western Conference. I think it's before you get to the Super Bowl, who's going to be representing the West, because he did play for the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. But when he went to the Kansas City Chiefs, he was, somewhat out of his prime. But anywho, that is a better, what you should be, comparing the two, because they're in two different decades. They played in two different systems, two different lifestyles and things of that nature. Shouldn't be comparing anybody. But if you're going to make a GOAT topic, a debate topic, I feel like you should talk more about, I think you have more of an argument who was the better quarterback in the NFL, Joe Montana or Tom Brady. Now, I would lean more towards Tom Brady, but, like I said, we'll talk about that on my podcast, my sports podcast. And I think I'm going to talk about that sometime this week. And it's Just My Opinion podcast, by the way. If you want to check that out, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, okay, and get that YouTube channel in the YouTube algorithm. But that's neither here nor there. We're still in too early for this podcast. But yeah, so Kwame Brown had some interesting takes about the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. Now, these were interesting takes. I mean, it wasn't backed by science or stats or anything, or just basketball logic. He was just basically just sharing his thoughts and opinions. I think there was some emotional ties with it, because I also felt like in that live stream he talked about how much money he lost for betting with the Lakers. And I think it was more of frustration boiling over on Kwame Brown's side, because normally when Kwame Brown do live streams about sports topics, he's pretty much on point. Okay. He's a former NBA player. He played with the best of them. He played with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He played with Kobe Bean Bryant. He played with a lot of stars. So if anybody should know more about X's and O's and the Pete's and Joe's, it should be Kwame Brown. All right. Normally, when he does live streams about, sports topics, he's pretty much in his element, and he pulls from resources through his playing career and stats and things of that nature. But this live stream, it was less about the X's and O's on why the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Denver Nuggets. It was more so of the fact that it was frustration. Kwame Brown was just frustrated because the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Denver Nuggets, which, food for thought. Kwame, I don't know if you're listening to this live stream. I would not bet a cent of money for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. If you thought the Los Angeles Lakers were going to win that series, you had to be extremely drunk. Okay. I said this in Just My Opinion podcast, and I got a lot of flack about it when I gave a preview before the series even started. I was leaning towards the Denver Nuggets because they were the complete team. They were the better team. There was more of the established team, and they had better chemistry because they've been around each other longer than the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. I picked the Denver Nuggets. Okay. A lot of people thought that I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because at the end of the day, there's no one on the Los Angeles Lakers staff, and style makes fights. Okay. I don't care what type of stats you have in front of you that you want to promote and talk about. Styles make fights. And at the end of the day, the Denver, I think it would have been harder for the Los Angeles Lakers to either stop not only the Joker, but Jamal Murray than it would be. Yeah, I think it was a little easier for the Denver Nuggets to stop or slow down LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Once again, Anthony Davis was up and down with his performance. LeBron James, those 2 games where LeBron James jacked a bunch of threes because he was extreme. You could tell he was extremely tired, and he just did not want to slash to the basket. Okay. Plus, they're talking about he has a foot injury, which they hint about that in December. But I do remember Shannon Sharpe making this comment about Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was complaining about his injuries. Shannon Sharpe said, well, if you play, you can't use that as an excuse. All right. And Shannon Sharpe, if he gets out of his fanboyism, he should apply that that perspective to LeBron James. You can't use the injury card when you played. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just no excuse. When you play, there's no excuses, okay, on your performance. You can't, when you win games, you don't talk about how you're still injured, okay? But when you lose games, you talk about how you're injured, okay? And it's like, it's the LeBron James fans, including Shannon Sharpe. They say this constantly and religiously. They always throw this, well, LeBron James is doing something that no player in the history of professional sports is doing, playing at an elite level at his age. They talk about and they apply how old LeBron James is and still performing on the highest of highest levels. But when he loses, they talk about how old LeBron James is, and they use the age factor on why they lost. But they still use the age factor when he wins. So make it make sense. But that's neither here nor there. All right. So I feel like Kwame Brown was frustrated because he lost money to the Los Angeles Lakers once again. LeBron James Kwame Brown, if that's true, we need to drug test you. Okay. We need to drug test you. I think you was a little tipsy. And I think someone took that as an opportunity to make money off of you. All right. But that's neither here nor there. Okay. You can bet to your heart content. You can bet for the odds or against the odds. And Kwame Brown betted against the odds. And he lost some money. And then he did a live stream. He was basically upset about that. All right. So when this and this blew up on social media, it was trending on social media. It was trending on Twitter. It was trending on YouTube. It was blowing up on social media that Kwame Brown went off on LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers when they got swept by the Denver Nuggets. And this ain't the first time Kwame Brown has blew up. His on and off battles with Gilbert Arenas, those things blow up, those be trending. His back and forth with the Up and Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, those go viral as well as his back and forth with Stephen A. Smith. Those go viral as well. So let's not call Kwame Brown a one-trick pony, okay? That's what we're not going to do, all right? So he got popular off of him hating on LeBron James. But basically, it got to Shannon Sharpe because Shannon Sharpe lives on social media. And Shannon Sharpe did not like it. And he took matters in his own hands on Undisputed. And he wasn't making logical sense because a lot of the stuff that Shannon Sharpe says in the defense or for any other athlete, he did not apply that to LeBron James when he was critical of Kwame Brown. And Shannon Sharpe basically went ham on Kwame Brown, talking about who the hell are you? You'll be on the Mount Rushmore of bust players, okay? Talked about his career in the NBA and saying that, well, judging, he never had prospects of being a number one draft pick and things of that nature. Talking about Kwame Brown's performance in the NBA, which, yeah, Kwame Brown did not have a great career in the NBA, but if you look at that draft and you go back into that draft, a lot of experts were saying that they didn't understand why Kwame Brown was picked that high. All right. He should not even been picked that high. And a, a lot of experts, which a lot of people were hating on these experts, saying, how dare you? He's a kid coming out of high school. How dare you say that this kid is never going to reach his he's never gonna fulfill being the number one draft pick, which, as time moved on, those experts were right. And he should not even been picked that high. And that happens in the NHL. That happens in the Major League Baseball. That happens in the National Basketball Association. That happens in the NBA. When you pick a player too high and they never meet up their end as far as your expectations on them. And they could never meet your expectations on them because you picked them too high. All right. But a lot of people were saying that about Kwame Brown, and they are proven right. We called them liars and hating on Kwame Brown. When his career was said and done and set in stone, now a lot of people, not a lot of people are coming back and saying I was wrong about you hating on Kwame Brown. You was actually right when you was talking about Kwame Brown. But Skip made a great point that you can't get mad at Kwame Brown because the owners and the coaches picked him too high. And that happens in every major league sport, by the way. All right. But Shannon Sharpe persisted on, the reason why we shouldn't listen to Kwame Brown. He's basically saying in low key, the reason why we shouldn't listen to Kwame Brown because he was a bust in the NBA. All right. And if you're going to have that mentality, then don't get mad and don't get upset when other people are commenting on other players that you may like and they don't have the credentials that you think they should have. All right. There's a lot of people that critique players in all these leagues that were not former athletes, that were not former coaches or former general managers. Okay. But do they have to have that expertise to critique a player? No. You don't have to play in the sport to critique somebody. You don't have to be a coach in the sport to critique somebody. It's par for the course. And if we're going to use that, then what Shannon Sharpe has done in the NBA, a phenomenal tight end in the NFL, but what has he done in the NBA? And I like the X's and O's of Shannon Sharpe. I think he's on point, makes valid point when he's not in his fanism and his bromance with LeBron James. When he's talking about other sports topics, particularly in the NBA, he is on point and on par. All right. But when he starts his bromance with LeBron James, his fascination with the Los Angeles Lakers, sometimes he embellished the truth some. Okay. He stretch it out some. And he makes excuses for LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers by throwing dirt on other legends. He started talking about, well, Michael Jordan didn't do that. Michael Jordan didn't do this. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't do that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't do this. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Okay. It just, look, At the end of the day, you can critique that stuff, but at the end of the day, the reason why LeBron James is lost that series has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. All right, has nothing to do with Larry Bird. All right, it has more to do with they lost to the better team, and let's just focus on the X's and O's and the Larrys and Joes. All right, but nevertheless, so Shannon Sharpe started critiquing Kwame Brown's statement about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. It was more feelings over facts. It was more, just slandering Kwame Brown's name and not talking about the game in hand, which was the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, which, by the way, no one's not even talking about this accomplishment from the Denver Nuggets. Everyone's more talking about the making excuses for the failure of LeBron James, making excuses of the failures of Los Angeles Lakers, and making excuses of LeBron James' legacy. Okay. No one's talking about he got swept in 3 different decades. All right. No one's talking about how this is a stain in LeBron James' legacy. Okay. And no one's definitely not talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. But at the end of the day, before I started talking about this, I told you guys, I think people have selective amnesia because when we were making our previews, everyone was saying this about the Los Angeles Lakers. They're not going anywhere because they got a new coach, Darvin Ham. That was one. 2, they were still stuck like Chuck with Russell Westbrook. And 3, if you look at that roster they had at the start of the NBA season, no one concluded that they were going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. They had the possibility of making it to the NBA Finals, okay? And if they would have made it to the NBA Finals, I know a lot of people would have credited LeBron James. I know a lot of people would have also said this, this would promote LeBron James' legacy. I know a lot of people would promote this would have promoted Los Angeles Lakers' legacy. Okay. But I don't think everybody would have gave credit where credit was due. And that was that front office of the Los Angeles Lakers. They done amazing work before the trade deadline to get actual NBA talent, okay, on that roster. Just imagine if they would have gotten these players at the start of the regular season, they wouldn't be a team that's swirling around 500, not knowing whether or not they're going to be able to have enough talent to make it to the play-in tournament. And at that particular time, it was Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. You got 3 max players on your roster and a bunch of journeymen on your roster. That's pretty much what they had. And they escalated into a phenomenal roster, a better roster. Let's not say phenomenal. Let's just say they had a better roster, what they ended up with. But, that's neither here nor there. So it got back to Kwame Brown, and Kwame Brown just went ham on Shannon Sharpe. All right. And he trended yet again on social media and on Twitter and on YouTube. And he went ham on Shannon Sharpe. And this went down in a major key way on social media Thursday as well into Friday. And then just when you think it couldn't get worse for Shannon Sharpe, because he was saying in that live stream of how much of a bromance he has for LeBron James and how he always make excuses on LeBron James and how he would throw dirt on other established NBA legacy players to make excuses for LeBron James and when he's on Undisputed, he's pretty much in his feelings and not really basing actual facts on why LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers struggled with the Denver Nuggets. All right, just making excuses for him. Just when you think it couldn't get any more lower for Shannon Sharpe, now comes word that Shannon Sharpe's LA mansion allegedly got robbed. Okay. He now a lot of people, when they were talking about this topic, and it was on Say Cheese's Twitter page, and hello. Oh my god, I hate when. Oh my god. Jesus. Yo, can y'all still hear me? All right, hold up. Yo, okay, I'm back. All right. So on his Twitter page, um, LeBron James, oh, not LeBron James, Shannon Sharpe, uh, LA mansion got robbed, and it was on Say Cheese. And a lot of people are saying that this is an inside job. It's some people that obviously Shannon Sharpe allowed in his mansion that knew the mansion, knew what he had. Now, uh, allegedly, okay, can I say the word allegedly? Shannon Sharpe was robbed over $1 million in jewelry. Someone took $1 million of Shannon Sharpe jewelry, and a lot of people feel like that was an inside job, and no one really knows the truth. I'm just going to share you guys my thoughts and opinions on this latest news of Shannon Sharpe, and this happens to a lot of celebrities, but there's always one thing in common. This happened with Chris Brown. Uh, uh, but a lot of people are not going to say this. I feel like it happens more to people that hit the live button on Instagram Live, and they're just doing a live video around their house. And I think it happens more often when people, are flaunting and flexing what they have on Instagram Live. Now, I'm not saying Shannon Sharpe was flexing what he had on, and he does flex a lot on his Instagram Live, his IG page, but he does do a lot of his lives in his mansion, and it happens to a lot of people that are on live, and they're on live at their mansion. Now if you got security, that's one thing. Like Floyd Money Mayweather, if you got security, ain't nobody going to try you. All right. But when you're on Instagram Live and you're not on that status, and he's probably thinking to himself, nobody's not going to really rob me. I'm Shannon Sharpe. I'm Club Shay Shay. I'm Unc on social media. Yeah, I'm very successful, undisputed with Skip Bayless. I have a bromance with LeBron James. I'm a celebrity, but I'm not no major key celebrity. I'm no Drake, okay? I'm no Steve Harvey. I'm no Floyd Money Mayweather. I'll be all right. Okay. I'm not a target for anybody. Okay. When when you're on social media a lot and you do a lot of lives on social media, people tend to check out your surroundings in your house, particularly if you do a lot of lives in your house. And that's how a lot of these criminals are robbing these celebrities in their mansion, you know, as well as the interwebs. Okay. If they know where you live at, they can get a diaphragm of your house, of your mansion. They know where to go in, they know where to go out. Not to mention the fact they probably been plotting on him. They probably, when they found out where he lived at, they drove around the neighborhood a couple of times. Technology is on an all-time high. You got these drones hovering around. Probably had a drone flying around your mansion and seeing the nooks and crannies of your mansion. Not, and then and you're always on IG Live, so they gonna always know where you're at all the time because you're constantly posting on Instagram, and you're on IG Live, and you're on Twitter a lot. So they're going to know where you're at, okay? And they caught you lacking. They caught you slipping. And I'd rather be caught slipping, not being at my mansion, than being caught slipping. You're in your mansion, they're robbing you, and you're there, and you could have lost your life to these robbers because you don't know what these robbers are going to do, okay? You don't know if they got guns or they do have guns. You don't know if they run in packs. I'm pretty sure they run in packs. And they could have beat the living daylights out of Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is in his 50s, all right? Shannon Sharpe is not a 20-year-old man, all right? Yeah, he has a 20-year mentality when he's on social media. He thinks he's bigger than life on social media. I don't think there's an age limit to social media. I think anybody with a smartphone can be on social media. I don't care how young or how old you can be. If you have the capabilities of creating an account, then you're part of the social media experience. And you should accept social media as good. Okay, so you should accept. Don't you hate it when someone constantly call you, you hang up on them, but they still keep calling you? Anyway, so I hope they don't call back. I hope they don't call back. I can't end this live here. All right. So social media, you should take the good and the bad with social media. Like once you create an account on social media, you can't then crap on social media. Okay. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're on social media, if you don't take precautions, you can be vulnerable on social media. And I think Shannon Sharpe is one of those victims. Now, of course, he's got money. I'm pretty sure he's got insurance on whatever he lost. And I'm pretty sure then the police are investigating. He's going to get his money back on his jewelry. Uh, uh, or the police find out who robbed them and they get his jewelry from them. But first and foremost, Shannon, this is something I expect someone that's decades younger than you that makes these choices. All right. Uh, people in your state that you're 50 years old. First and foremost, you shouldn't have $1 million worth of jewelry at 50 years old. All right. You should be well past that stage of life. All right. You could be a collector of jewelry, and most people, and like I said, there should be no age gap. Okay. I don't want people to start hit me up in the comment section talking about he's too old to be on social media and he's too old to act like a child on social media. I'm not saying all that. What I am saying is people that are at your age or at your level, normally they be collectors of jewelry. And normally those collectors will have their jewelry in a safe somewhere, like at a jewelry store or in a vault, whatever. And they're collecting the pieces of jewelry. Okay. And but I don't know if this jewelry, it sounds like to me this jewelry was just out and about and you just had it laying everywhere like a display case. So who are you trying to show this jewelry off to? Okay. Yeah, you got a $1 million mansion, you make hella fine money. But if you're going to act and behave I mean like you're flexing and flaunting, you better have security on you. All right. That's first and foremost. And you should make better decisions. Even Floyd Money Mayweather, just doesn't have his stuff just laying anywhere. And this happened to Chris Brown. It happens to a lot of celebrities that are constantly on social media. And when you're constantly on social media, you don't realize what you're filming that people can see in the background. I know a lot of people on social media, they just focus on their face, making sure their face is in the live and this, that, and the third. But a lot of people don't really pay attention to their surroundings behind them, particularly if you're in your home and you might be low key showing some stuff that you normally wouldn't show. All right. So that's why I tell people, when you're on social media, make sure you have that blur effect where people can't see what your surroundings, where you're at, and they can't see, if you're doing live at home, what's in your home, because you're basically giving a lens to wherever you're at. All right. Particularly at your home, first and foremost. So I noticed in a lot of Shannon Sharpe's live streams, he doesn't have that blur filter behind him to blur out when he's at home. So that's one thing that tipped off the robbers. Okay. And I don't follow, I mean, I follow Shannon Sharpe on Instagram, but I don't really follow him. Okay. If that makes sense. So I don't know if maybe on an Instagram live, he probably flexed the jewelry and flex the watches. I know he flexes the liquor. So I'm pretty sure he's flexing the watches, he's flexing the jewelry, and he's not paying attention that he's inciting people to rob him. Now, second thing about Shannon Sharpe is he always talk about when people do stupid things on social media, most namely athletes. You know, he talked about how Kyrie Irving said stupid and dumb things on social media. He talked about John Morant saying and doing stupid things on social media. But Shannon, how come you can't apply your own logic to yourself? All right. You do and say stupid things on social media. And I think social media cuts uh brain logic to a lot of people out there, and people just get so brain dead about social media. They just hit the live button not knowing their surroundings, or not understanding that when you're on live, you're showing off a lot of your stuff, a lot of your surroundings, and you don't even know it. Okay. So, food for thought. Anybody out there, have a filter behind you, or be behind a green screen or something. You know, don't show off your home on social media, or where you're at in social media, because would be robbers, trust me, they're lurking. They're looking on your social media, and they're trying to check it out, see if they can catch you lacking. All right. And you can lose more than your jewelry and your money. You can ultimately lose your life. So I don't understand why Shannon Sharpe was doing that in the first place. Okay. So yeah, just letting y'all know, food for thought. Um so Shannon Sharpe, it got worse for Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon Sharpe is realizing that he realizing something that a lot of people realize when they do social media. They have to move accordingly on social media. Make sure you're not giving up your location, or make sure you're not giving up, or you're showing something in your life that you don't realize that you're showing, that people are preying on and going like, okay, he's that easy. Okay, so yeah, so Shannon Sharpe was in the news for all the wrong reasons, and him and Kwame Brown going back and forth, and Kwame Brown made fun of it, and yeah, that's not a good look for Shannon Sharpe. Just when you think, and I remember Skip Bayless on several lives, particularly on Undisputed, would talk to Shannon Sharpe like, you can't let social media take over you, consume you, where your common sense can't talk sense into you, or you're on social media constantly, and you're more concerned and worried about what people are tweeting at you, or what people saying in the comment sections on your Instagram live, or your pictures, or your videos, or TikTok. You're more consumed and uh more worried about what people saying on social media than what your peers are saying at your job. That speaks hellified volumes about uh your opinions about other athletes. I mean, you ever talk about other athletes, how they should quit worrying about social media, but you're worrying about social media. All right. And I just, social media can be a great experience. Social media can be a great thing. With great power come great responsibilities. But some people don't realize the responsibility in social media, and people just create content, just create an account, create content, and everything will be all good in the hood, right? And that's what Shannon Sharpe thought. And now there's reports out there that Shannon Sharpe lost $1 million of jewelry, as well as having egg on his face on social media by, trying to validate LeBron James. Because, the critics are going to come. The haters are going to come. So no matter what you say and what you do, all right, you're just wasting a lot of valuable time and oxygen trying to defend LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers struggle in that series. And at the end of the day, nobody's not giving credit to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets swept the Los Angeles Lakers, and the only thing people are talking about is LeBron James being injured, LeBron James making excuses, and now we're going to phase into LeBron James' retirement, alleged retirement. So after game 4, LeBron James said he's thinking about retiring, the possibility of retiring, which is huge cap. And it just shows how LeBron James is very calculating and trying to change the narrative about him, because he knew if he would have lost this series, I'm pretty sure he didn't think that he was going to get swept. But I think LeBron James thought, hey, look, if I lose this series, what can I get to? How can I change the narrative? Because people are going to start focusing on LeBron James' career and his stats, and this man has more L's than W's. I mean, big L's. This guy has W's. He has big W's, but he also has big L's. All right. And it just shows how calculated LeBron James is. And LeBron James says, how can I change the narrative? Yeah, I'll talk about the possibility of me maybe retiring, which is all cap. We all know LeBron James is not going to retire anytime soon. And there's also reports out there that now he's blaming his foot. He needs surgery, which at the end of the day, look, dude, quoting Shannon Sharpe, you said this, Shannon Sharpe. If you play, you can't use that. You can't use an injury as an excuse. Remember what you said about Aaron Rodgers? Okay. Remember what you said about Tom Brady? Okay. Remember what you say about Zion Williams? Okay. So we should apply that same logic to your bromance with LeBron James, right? If you're playing, you can't use your injury as an excuse. Because when you were playing well, nobody said, not one morsel of information. Everyone that was praising LeBron James said, wow, that foot looks injured, man. He needs surgery in the offseason. Nobody wasn't talking about that when he was winning. When he was on his highest plateau, nobody wasn't talking about the foot injury. Now he got swept. Everyone's talking about the foot injury. When he was on his higher plateau, everyone was telling you guys how great LeBron is. LeBron James is in uncharted waters, and, it's amazing a guy this old can put up this type of success and this type of stats, okay? Remember how everyone was talking about that, right? Now they lost to the Denver Nuggets, and now everyone's talking about they're using the age factor. Well, what did you expect? LeBron James is old, okay? He's, they're using the age and the foot injury, and now the talk of him possibly retiring, now everyone is using all of these elements to change the narrative. But the simple argument was the Denver Nuggets were a better team. I said this on Just My Opinion podcast, my YouTube channel. All my YouTube channels are in the description below. Click the link and subscribe. Okay. If you want to get at me, all right. If you like the content, follow the content. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, remember Shannon Sharpe when Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Zion Williams were getting injured, but they still played. You said coming out of your mouth, you can't then turn around and talk about your injuries. Because once you play, you can't use the excuse of, well, I was injured. Remember? You said that, Shannon. And now when LeBron James does the exact same thing as Zion, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers, still trying to perform on the highest level, being injured, now you want to use the injury as an excuse for LeBron James. Can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other, all right? But that's neither here nor there. That's what killed your whole argument, and that's what everyone was telling you. But, that's neither here nor there. Now LeBron James is focusing. Now the talk is his injury and the possibility of him muddling over to retire or not. And a lot of people is using this narrative, to possibly talk about LeBron James is doing a power play with Lakers ownership and the front office. Mitch Kupchak was the old and I can't think of his name. He's an agent for Kobe Bryant. I can't think of his name for the life of me. If I had my tablet, I could just look it up. But anywho, he's pulling a power play to somehow, some way. Now, this is what the reports are saying. I don't know if this is true or not, but of getting Kyrie Irving to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, for this to happen, the Los Angeles Lakers will have to give up a draft pick. They will have to give up on Austin Reeves, giving Austin Reeves a contract, and Ashimura, who they got in a draft, who they're trying to re-sign in the first place. They might do a sign and trade where they have him, a draft pick, give up on Austin Reeves. They probably might give up another player like D'Angelo Russell to the Dallas Mavericks. In return, they get Kyrie Irving. Now, once they get Kyrie Irving, it's over for Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is probably going to get it'll probably hurt Austin Reeves in negotiations, because now there's people when they're negotiating with Austin Reeves, they're going to say, well, why should we give you close to max or give you the max when the Lakers have moved on from you? You probably have to do a prove it to me type of contract where it has a team option to increase your money, or we'll just cut bait from you. So it's going to hurt him in negotiations. Austin Reeves. If I was Austin Reeves, I would try to get the better deal and just go to that team. If the Detroit Pistons give you a max contract, Austin Reeves, go to the Detroit Pistons. All right. If the Cleveland Cavaliers, well, not the Cleveland Cavaliers, but if the Chicago Bulls give you a max contract, or the Orlando Magic give you a max contract, go to that team, young man. Go to that team, young man. Okay. But I think he's going to do the best for his future. But anyway, back, if they are trying to negotiate a play to get Kyrie Irving, it wouldn't help them more than what they'll ultimately gain. Now, they'll have a proven scorer, a dependable scorer, a guy who can penetrate, a slasher, who has been there and done that. He won a title with LeBron James, who knows LeBron James. So those are all the pros. The cons are he has proven in his career that he's not going to play a full 82-game series. Okay. you're obviously going to have to max him. He's not going to go free nilly. Obviously, I forgot the owner for the Dallas. Mark Cuban is going to have to do a sign and trade where he maxes Kyrie Irving and then trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers. In return, the Los Angeles Lakers give up a draft pick, D'Angelo Russell, and Achimuro, and probably another player. And then they're going to give up on Austin Reeves because they're out on the Austin Reeves sweepstakes. And then Austin Reeves would definitely have to negotiate with another team. And there was reports out there that Austin Reeves can get either something close to max or a max contract. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers do have the obligation of matching whatever he gets in free agency. But if they go after Kyrie Irving, that hurts his demand. Not the demand, but he definitely is not going to get no max money because now other organizations are going to go, well, you're going to just take the best offer from whatever team. And I feel like every other team is going to underbid. They may do a player extension where it'll be like another you have to prove me type contract where he'll take some good money, but it's not going to be the money that he could have gotten if the Lakers was negotiating with the other teams. And it'll have a player option or a team option where it will increase the next following season. So he'll lose money on the short term, but he'll gain money on the long term, if that makes sense. And so if they go after Kyrie Irving, they'll be back in the same position they were with Russell Westbrook. Allow your brother to explain. Now, you're going to have pros and cons with all three of these players. They're all going to be max. Obviously, you're not going to have enough money to get some decent NBA talent. You're going to have to sign 1-year deals with a bunch of journeymen, some men that were some unproven players. You're not going to get top-notch NBA talent, and you're going to pair that talent up with these three max contracts. And there's pros and cons of having these three max contracts. Kyrie Irving has demonstrated he doesn't want to play 82 games. He's going to make up some excuse to have load management with him. And now the load management, if it's found out that you're doing load management, they even punish you even further than they did in the past. So Kyrie Irving is not going to play 82 game series, not going to play 82 games. LeBron James, if you shorten his minutes, he's not going to be able to play 82 games. He'll probably miss some games, and he'll probably miss games due to injuries, okay, or to rest him up for the postseason. And then you're going to have Anthony Davis, on the other hand, who's going to miss plays due to injuries and load management. So now you got three players that probably are not going to play together a lot in the regular season, and you're going to roll the dice and hope and pray that all three of these players are healthy enough to play together in the postseason and try to make a run. All right. I just don't see how they'll be in the same predicament like they was with Russell Westbrook. LeBron James got one more year as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. If they give up on their future, then they're not going to be in line to possibly get his son, because he always wants. He's done demonstrated that his final couple of years in the NBA, he wants to play alongside his son. Well, the Lakers are clearly not going to get it with the odds that they're going to get in the NBA lottery and in the NBA draft, and they don't have enough pieces to get close enough to get his son. I don't think his son's going to be a top pick in the NBA. And he hasn't even played a quarter of basketball in the collegiate level. But what I've seen thus far, he's not going to be a top, a number one overall pick, probably in the top 5, maybe in the top 10. I don't think he's going to be that type of player. I do think he's going to get drafted. I feel like worst case scenario, he's probably the last 2 players in the first round, but he's definitely, what I've seen thus far, he has room to grow and improve, and this could change over the course of time. Obviously, he's going to be in college for 1 year. He can probably get traded. I mean, he could probably get drafted in the second round. I feel like teams will feel more comfortable picking him that low. And I feel like a lot of teams are going to pick him just for the simple fact that, well, if we draft him, his father already said he wants to play with his son. The Lakers are not going to have any type of pieces or draft picks to negotiate to even get his son in La La Land. So that means that this is probably going to be the final year for LeBron James. And then LeBron James is going to be waiting all next season. Well, he'll play 1 year of college. He'll go into the NBA draft. And he's going to wait. And you probably won't hear nothing about LeBron James as far as signing back to the Los Angeles Lakers or with any team anytime soon until he finds out who's going to pick his son. So, yeah. So that's a possibility. And, who knows? All right. But yeah, we're coming down to the stretch. So, I thought I wasn't going to talk about this, real fast, real quick. And I don't forgot what I was. DJ Envy and Rick Ross, they've been going back and forth ever since Rick Ross talked about and promoted his car show that he had at his mansion estate in Georgia. I think or in Florida, Georgia, Florida. I don't know. And, he talked about his cars, his collection. And first is, the back and forth with him and DJ Envy. It was about the type of cars that they're collecting, and they're criticizing each other's cars. DJ Envy is criticizing the collection of Rick Ross, and Rick Ross is critiquing what DJ Envy has. And it was like in tongue-in-cheek, playful and innocent, trolling, a little trolling here and there. But this is when trolling goes wrong and when trolling goes left. Now these guys have escalated this argument in talking about their ex-wives. I mean, their baby mamas, their wife, their family. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to, look, I'm going to be 100% real with y'all. This is rich people's beef. They basically beefing on which one is the richer one, which one has more money, and it's gotten so petty with these two guys. It's like two guys. Have you ever? I don't know. A lot of people, like when I was in the hood, and the hood is good. You would have these two guys that make money in the hood, and I'm not going to talk about how they made their money, but they made a lot of money in the hood. And then they talk about the type of sneakers they have on their feet. And then it escalates to the type of cars type of whips that they're in. And then it goes into the type of girls that they're messing around with. And then ultimately it starts off with innocent tongue-in-cheek trolling and joking with one another, and then it becomes and it escalates into now it's hate, and now it's consuming you, and now you're making rational decisions, and some people lose their life because of this. And it's the same type of vibes I got then when I was young about this behavior that I see and witness in the hood. Is the same type of behavior I'm getting with DJ Envy and Rick Ross. All right. I'm not saying one or the other is going to take their life. I'm not saying Rick Ross is going to take DJ Envy's life. I'm not saying DJ Envy is going to take Rick Ross's life. I'm not saying that people that are their family members or people that are close to these two guys is going to take it that far. But I will say their fan base may go an extra mile with this. And like I said, I saw this when I was in the hood. I saw this when Biggie and Tupac were beefing and how it became an East Coast, West Coast thing. And ultimately we lost two phenomenal rappers, Tupac and Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., two phenomenal rappers that was going to evolutionize hip hop. If these guys were still living, hip hop that we know of today would be vastly different if these two guys were living. All right. People were talking about how if Tupac was alive, he'll be dating Beyonce than Jay-Z. I don't know if that would have been possible or that would have been true. A lot of people felt like Tupac would just give up rapping and just become an actor full time. And I think he was very successful as a rapper. I mean, as an actor, but he was extremely successful as a rapper. And a lot of people don't give Tupac his credit when credit is due. Obviously, had the better cadence, a better writer, a better delivery, a better voice for rapping. When people talk about it, I think people underestimate how good Tupac was as a rapper. But yeah, he was also great as an actor, extremely talented. One of the Huge brothers was on Club Shay Shay, and he talked about how if Tupac was alive, he would have won multiple Oscars. Okay. Not a lot of actors have won multiple, well, particularly in the Black community, not a lot of actors or actresses won multiple Oscars. All right. And he probably would have been the first. All right. So, but that's neither here nor there. But back to DJ Envy and Rick Ross, I just get those vibes. And I just think, look, it's just rich folks. It's just rich folks flexing. And it's just not a good look for DJ Envy or Rick Ross. It's just something it sounds petty, immature. It's something that you see with teenagers doing this. But in the grand scheme of things, look, y'all guys got a lot of things that you should be proud of, that you have done, and what do you two guys mean in the hip hop community and the impact and influence that you have in the hip hop community. I just think you guys should be focusing more so on that and less so with these little petty back and forth. I just think both of you guys should just block each other and just don't talk about each other, okay? Because it's just not worth it, okay? And I forgot to mention this. I was going to talk about this earlier in the presentation, and it just dawned on me after talking about Rick Ross and DJ Envy, not to say that this individual was like in their mode, but an RIP to Tina Turner. We lost a legend this week, a legend, extraordinary talent, Tina Turner. Tina Turner, singer, model, actress, done a lot of phenomenal work in entertainment. We lost her, God rest her soul. She had countless hits. Well, first and foremost, it was a group called Ike and Tina, where it was her and her husband, was very violent towards her, domestic violence and things of that nature, and they broke up, which led to the movie What's Love Got to Do with It. Angeline, not I'm about to say Angelina Jolie. Angela Bassett played Tina Turner. Could you imagine if Angelina Jolie played Tina Turner? Okay, I don't know why I said her name, but Angela Bassett played Tina Turner, done a phenomenal job playing Tina Turner. And Tina Turner was was in the production of that movie, giving Angela Bassett pointers on how to be her. And she was known for rock and roll. Her love was rock and roll. And a lot of people want to, say that she was more of a R&B artist. She had a few hits that transitioned into R&B, like "What's Love Got to Do with It." That was a huge hit back in the 80s. And I remember, you know, briefly about the 80s. I'm old, but I'm not that old. All right. And I remember very vaguely of her that video premiering and that song premiering on Miami Vice. And Miami Vice, it was Don Johnson and I forgot the black guy. I think his name was Michael Phillip something. Phil whatever. Like I said, I vaguely remember that. And again, I'm old, but I'm not that old, folks. But I remember the movie What's Love Got to Do with It. This lady was phenomenal. And I remember my mom would talk about Tina Turner constantly because she was a huge Tina Turner fan. She liked the Gladys Knights and the Pips, but she loved some Tina Turner. All right. And I vaguely once again remember her playing some of her songs on a record player. So she would tell me that she would play. I don't vaguely remember that, but I remember my mom telling me that. But anywho, we lost a legend, Tina Turner. And man, we're just losing legends left to right, folks. So give everyone their flowers while they're alive. How about that? Instead of going on social media and hating on everybody, trolling on everybody, why they, while they're alive, appreciate them. Which, Ryan, bless your boy, uh uh two episodes ago, she gave me a super chat. She cash apped me some money, and I really do appreciate that. And once this live is over with, I'm going to comment in the comment section. I'm gonna give you guys the link to my cash app. And I'm gonna explain to you why I'm gonna do it that way instead of having it in the live stream. Okay. So yeah, we lost a great one, Tina Turner. All right. Now we're gonna fast forward. Yeah, I'm no longer going to promote my Cash App in my live streams. I'm gonna have the link in the comment section if you guys want to donate, like Ryan did. Um, and I appreciate that, Ryan, from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. But the reason why I'm going to do it that way, a lot of content creators on YouTube are saying that having it on your live is not a good look. Like having it on the screen is not a good look because a lot of people are, are making those cash apps or creating a cash app using your image, and people are thinking that they're donating to you, but in actuality they're donating to somebody else. I'm going to have the cash app link in the comment section if you guys want to donate, and that's where I'm gonna be doing it from now on in any of my live streams. Okay. And then a lot of content creators are talking about how they're losing their channels because they didn't do the 2-factor security thing, like have your phone number tied to your Google account. Ticket TV is battling and fighting to get his channel back. Lucky for him, he has other channels. And I remember Heartache Times, even though he's not very popular with me, and calling me a crumb snatcher because we did a live stream and a video talking about his antics on the Weapon Wheel podcast. But I always give him his respect and his credit. He's great. He's a great gamer, and he's very knowledgeable about audio equipment and television. So if you want to know the latest audio equipment or the best television to buy, go check him out. He got some extended research on that. So I give him his respect and his credit when credit is due. But at the same time, when you effed up and when you say stupid stuff, we're going to talk about that as well. We take the good and the bad. We just don't talk about only the bad. We take the good and the bad. All right. So he was talking about how his channel got, someone took control of his channel. Lucky for him, even though his phone wasn't tied to his phone number wasn't tied to YouTube, he was using Google services as a phone provider, and lucky for him, he got his channel. But he didn't use the two verification thing on his YouTube channel. So I've been enabled that a while ago on on all of my channels. And it was at one point I was thinking about not doing it, but now I'm doing it. And you need to protect yourself because a lot of people are stealing identities and a lot of people are stealing people's content, and a lot of people are trying to figure out ways to take people's channels. So be careful out there. Doesn't matter how small or big you are in the content creator space, just protect your content. That's the best way I can put it. So yeah, moving on from that. So yeah, we're getting close to closing up shop. We did it, folks. And I say about in another 5 or 6 minutes, we'll reach the 2-hour portion. And we're back on the grind, on the journey again of doing 2-hour live streams. In the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to do something very special for Too Early for This podcast, people that are subscribed to Too Early for This podcast. And I'm also going to do something very, very special for people that were mulling over whether or not to become a channel member. So we'll talk about that sometime next week or 2 weeks from now. We'll definitely, I don't want to talk too much about it right now. But yeah, I'm going to do some very special things if I'm able to. And that's the key word, able to do it. But yeah, guys, sorry about last week, by the way. I had to do Too Early for This podcast on Friday instead of on Saturday. Yeah, and I tell you guys all the time, I'm on my end, I'm going to promise to deliver you a live stream and be consistent on delivering you a live stream and do the live stream on Saturday. But there was some unseen circumstances that I couldn't do it on Saturday. I did it on Friday. I still delivered you guys a live stream. It wasn't a long live stream, but I did delivered you guys a live stream. And that's pretty much my promise to you guys. All right. And I hope in return, you guys promise by just watching, hitting the like button, definitely hitting the comment section. I want the comment section to be active among you guys. The comment section is your guys' domain. I might go in and I might go and read a couple of comments. I may even comment on a couple of comments. I might like the comment, but I don't want the comment section to be all about me. I want the comment section to be all about you guys. You guys should have the freedom to, if I say something right, you can talk about it. If I say something wrong, you should also talk about it. And like I said, the comment section isn't for trolls. Don't troll one another. Be very respectful. Okay. We all have differences, and we all have differences of opinions. Every opinion is not going to in line with everyone else's opinion. And if you want to critique someone's opinion or my opinion, you're fair game. I think when you start attacking when you start attacking a person's comment and you're applying more emotion than facts, even if you sprinkle a little facts and it still comes off as you being totally emotional about it, I'm not going to promote that. I will promote you guys saying whatever you want to say, good. If it's if you like something I said, cool. If you didn't like something I said, cool as well. If you want to post facts, as long as you're not posting links to other channels, if you want to post links to articles, that's fine as well. There's a wrong and a right way to get your point across. And I noticed this about YouTube. A lot of people will go the wrong way with it. 9 times out of 10, a lot of people go the wrong way with it. They go extremely left with it. All right. And it kind of reminds me of, it's like this. I feel like, it's easier for people to go left and go the wrong way with it, approach it the wrong way, because it's easier to do that than doing it the right way. Doing it the right way, it takes a little bit more time and doing. So there's a wrong and a right way of commenting and critiquing somebody and sharing your opinion. Okay. And a lot of people like to swivel on the wrong way. And I'm just saying, I want the comment section to be the place where you guys tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? If you want to talk about someone else's comment, if they're right, if they're wrong. But yeah, that's it. So I really do appreciate everyone coming in. No matter if you came in for the whole segment or if you came in small chunks and in small portions, particularly when we do this live. I know I do it extremely early, but feel free when you come. It doesn't matter if you how long you've been here. Hit the like button. All right, just hit the like button. Can you please do that? And if you can do your boy solid, you can share it with your friends, families, and followers. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell, select all. Okay. I swear to you, it won't take no more than 10 seconds of your day. Just 10 seconds. All right. Yeah, 10 seconds that's all I'm asking for is 10 seconds to do those steps. And I'm good with you if you can do that. Now, the people that watches the rerun of this will be posted a little bit later on today. And it'll be in the YouTube algorithm today. So yeah, you guys can check it out as well. Also, I normally at this portion would read comments. Didn't get any comments, but I like to appreciate Ryan for that super chat. I really do appreciate, ma'am. I really do appreciate you doing that. I didn't ask for it, but I really do appreciate that. If anyone wants to donate, like I said, I'll have my Cash App link in the comment section. And I'm also going to thank a lot of people in the Cash App as well, whoever donates to me. And I'm definitely going to thank Ryan for her support. As far as Cash Apping me, I'm gonna have my Cash App links in the comment section. Also check out Just Me Nicole. She's a YouTuber who does vlogs and beauty videos and things of that nature. I thoroughly like her content. I don't watch it all the time, but I also like to let people know that she's a small time YouTuber. And please go over there, Just Me Nicole. Hit the like button, subscribe to her channel, and just support her. Just support her. I also like to give a shout out to the Dream. The Dream. I really enjoy her content. Now she hasn't uploaded anything recently. Maybe she's taking the summer off, which a lot of content providers take the summer off to enjoy themselves. Fun fact and real tip, if you're a struggling content creator or if you're a small-time content creator, the best time to do live streams and promote your videos is in the summer, particularly on the hottest days when people don't want to go out and they just want to stay in the house under the air condition. If you do it in the afternoon, if you post anything, a video or a live stream, I say from 4 p.m. all the way to almost 8 o'clock, you're going to get a lot of views if you do that. I'm just giving you guys some food for thought. I'm giving you guys some jewels. I'm definitely giving you guys some jewels. But the Dream, go check out her channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like her videos. I watched several of her videos a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think has uploaded anything since then. And but nevertheless, she got a huge catalog of videos. So just go check out all of her videos. Another lady I just now watched is Lip Balm TV. She does these stripper vlogs, and I know. Y'all gonna say, I think it's even though she works as a stripper, well, dancer, uh, a lot of her content is more how to like makeup and wigs and try on hauls, and occasionally she'll bless her subscribers with a vlog, because she's doing other extraordinary things, like she's getting into real estate. And I was saying, like, damn, do strippers make that type of money? Okay. But she's not, low key, she's really not a stripper. She's just a pole dancer. Okay. I know people are going to say, huh? It's just a difference. I feel like, I don't think she's like, I've never been in the club before, but it's like a gentleman's club. And I don't think she just strips. I do think she, I don't know. Like I said, stripping and that stuff that don't really phase me. I've been in a lot of gentlemen clubs, a lot of strip clubs, and not a lot, but I had my time in them, and I just wasn't excited or thrilled to be there. I wasn't consumed nor addicted to it. Had homeboys that were hugely addicted to it, and they take me to these establishments, and I just don't be all that hyped up of going to a gentleman's club or a strip club. Okay. But yeah, so go check her out, Lip Balm TV. We're about to wrap this puppy up, folks. We are definitely about to wrap this puppy up. I see the sun is out, so I don't know where it's at in your part of the world. It's almost 7 o'clock here. It's 6:43. And that's pretty much it, guys. Guys, I will be back unless some unseen circumstances next Saturday. Same bat channel, same bat time. Some unseen circumstances come at the horizon. I will notify you guys and let you guys know that either I had to do it a day early, or we're just gonna skip that week entirely. And I'm going to check out these phone calls. I got 2 phone calls. I don't know why. You know, everyone knows what I do around this time. It is what it is. Guys, I will see you guys next Saturday. Same bat channel, same bat time, unless some unseen circumstances come. Yeah, I know I repeated it twice, but twice is nice. I'll see you guys next Saturday. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I don't even know what episode number this is. I think this is episode 32, 33. I don't know. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this whole entire presentation of Too Early for This podcast. The rewatchers who watch this on the rerun, please do your boy a favor. I should have said this in the beginning. Watch this from start to finish. Okay, start from finish, and we'll talk a little bit more about the audio version of Too Early for This podcast. The link is in the description below. Just go to the link and it will take you to my podcast. And I'm thinking, if I change the name of the audio podcast, then that means it's going to be a new link. So I might keep that link and just change the artwork. So that way I don't have to go back into the description and change the link and things of that nature. But anywho, I will see you guys next Saturday. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. I'm up out of here. I will see you guys on the flip side of things next Saturday. Deuces, outro.